Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. If it's the first time you're here, my name is Lii Borossy. In today's video we're going to be talking about what to expect during the 4-month sleep regression, and I'm going to be giving you all the signs to look out for to know that if your baby is in fact going through the sleep regression or if it's something else that could be wrong with your baby. I want to disclaim something right from the start. I'm not a doctor, I am a mother of 2, I have been through this a couple of times and I have been doing a lot of reading up and research related to the topic. So I feel like I'm confident enough to share my knowledge with you guys, but obviously always talk to your doctor before making any decisions on how to take care of your baby. But to give you some comfort and hopefully save you some time and stress, first of all, I'm going to be sharing with you the signs that your baby might be going through the sleep regression, the 4-month sleep regression, and I'm going to be sharing with you my experience, and also I want to give you some tips and tricks on how to combat and how to come out on the other side a little bit more well rested, as if you didn't know all about these things. The 4 signs that I want to tell you about is: number 1, fussiness. My son has been extremely fussy for the past month, and to the point where I'm like, something is wrong and I can't put my finger on it. He's just like all the time wanting to be held, all the time wanting to nurse. Nobody else can soothe him but me, and I feel like the only thing I can do to actually soothe him is to let him nurse. So that's something that is changing in his behavior, and I'm sure that if your baby is going through the same thing, could be for this reason. So the second sign that your baby is going through sleep regression is that they are waking up more at night. Maybe your baby has been sleeping through the night, and if so, you are very lucky, and I'm very envious or very jealous, I should say, of you. My first baby, she had colic, so for the first 3 months she would only scream. But this time around I had a very calm newborn, and he would sleep quite well during the night. He would wake up a couple of times to feed, but now for the past month he have been waking up every half an hour wanting to nurse. And if he's not on my boob nursing, he will not be sleeping, and it's just wow. Yeah, that's hard. Third point that or sign that your baby is going through the sleep regression, and is that they are napping less during the day. Hector is currently down to like just taking cat naps like while he's nursing, and in between he can't seem to fall asleep. He would do so super easy earlier, and is giving me so much frustration knowing that I'm doing all the same things and nothing seems to be working unless I'm actually nursing him. But if you can't tell, I'm doing this video by myself. He's currently asleep, napping in my bed. I wish it was his crib, but he's currently napping in my bed all by himself. So there is light at the end of the tunnel. I want you to know that before going any further in this video. The 4th and last sign that your baby is going through the sleep regression is change in appetite. And this is a big one for us. As I mentioned, he is currently nursing all the time, and I feel like that every 30 minutes during the day, during the night, he wants to eat. And I'm like, how is it possible that you want and have space to eat constantly? Because when he starts to nurse, he will do so for like maybe half an hour or up to 1 hour straight, and then he will have a break of 30 minutes and then he wants to continue. So the fact that their appetite is changing is a very, in my case, big sign that he was going through the 4-month sleep regression. So there is light at the end of the tunnel, but the good thing, there is actually a good thing about this, and it's the fact that your baby is growing and developing, and around this time, around the 4-month mark, your baby is no longer a newborn. And I know how hard that must be to hear, because for me it's truly heartbreaking. I feel like this is probably the last baby I will ever have, so the fact that the newborn stage is almost over for us is something that gives me not anxiety, but it makes me emotional, and I feel like I'm gonna miss this so much. And I'm so grateful that I had a chance to experience this for a second time. If you didn't know, I shared my TTC journey over here and also my pregnancy journey with you guys, so now it's only natural that I continue with the baby stage and all of that. And I have so many ideas of future projects that I want to share with you guys, but basically motherhood is what I'm passionate about, and I will continue to share motherhood with you guys. So let's move on. I have on my phone my little notes here. So the meaning behind the 4-month sleep regression basically is the development of your baby. They are trying to learn new skills. For us, for example, Hector is trying to learn how to roll over. He's currently only able to roll from his back to his side, but he's nearly there. I can see that for the past few, like 2-3 days, he has been so close to actually rolling over to his stomach. He hates tummy time. He has always cried when I have put him on his belly since he was a newborn. But sitting up is something that he really enjoys, and those two things are things that they are like trying to master around this time, or starting to want to try and master around this time. So they sometimes even practice at night, so that's why they are waking up more. And even I know that the startle reflex is something that they are starting to not experience as much anymore, but when they do so, they tend to wake themselves up, basically. If you're swaddling your baby, now is the time to maybe start to wean them off of that. They are now trying to find more like comfortable positions to sleep in, and they can sometimes get a little fussy if they don't have the ability to move around. Obviously, everything I'm saying you should clear with your doctor and do so in a safe manner. I have never swaddled my kid. He didn't enjoy it, and I never did. I felt like I didn't need to, but I know that many people do until this moment. So that was my little 2 cents of that. Now we're gonna jump into my tips on what to do to make this time frame of the sleep regression a little bit more easy on yourself. This is things that I have been implementing with my son, and I feel like they are working, so I want to share them with you guys. So the first thing that I'm doing is that I'm making a conscious decision to actually sit down and play with him. Before I used to, like when he was in the stroller or just in my knees, I would shake a toy in front of him and try to get his attention, but now I realize that he needs more stimulation, and his brain is smart enough to grasp the fact that he can do things by himself, and he's more interested in like grabbing toys, making them sound, trying to move them, trying to move his body. So I'm giving him the opportunity to learn those things in a safe environment. So usually we will sit down in on a carpet that we have either in the bedroom or in the living room, but I will place toys all around him, and I will let him be face up, so on his back with toys like all around him, so he knows that okay, if I turn this side I will have a toy, and if I turn to this side I will have another toy, and I will shake something in front of him and then place it on the side, one of each side. Doesn't matter which one. I feel like he's gonna start to roll to his left for the first, like it looks like he wants to turn to the left, so usually that's what I'm doing. I will place the toy to the left of him, but I will do so in front of him so he can see that he needs to turn. Anyway, and it seems to be working, because every time he flips to his side and then he starts to cry because he realized that he can't go any further. But I'm making a conscious effort to actually sit there with him and encourage him and talk encouragingly to him, and like if I see that he's doing something, I will be clapping my hands. I will talk to him with a happy voice saying good job, like encourage him to keep going even if he's crying. But if I realize that he's getting too much tired, we will of course stop the game. And this brings me to the next step, which is basically starting to implement somewhat of a schedule. Try and keep your baby's awake time and sleep time on a schedule will help you. This time around I'm a little bit more relaxed than I was the first time around when I had my daughter. Then I would have like everything that we needed to do, like sleep time, nap time, feeding and playtime, all of that I would have on a strict schedule, like down to the minute. And this time around I'm not doing that. It's not working for me anymore because my lifestyle has changed. I do have a toddler and a husband that both needs my attention as well, so to say to them that no, we cannot do anything apart from his schedule, that's not working for us. But a basic schedule, like a guideline, so to speak, I do have. So I try to keep in mind that he will first, I follow the sleep eat, sleep and play schedule more or less. So he will have a long nursing session, he will sleep and he will wake up, and then he might want to nurse for a few minutes, and then we will play, he will nurse again and then fall asleep. So that's the cycle we are like repeating. So I'm starting to follow a schedule more than I used to when he was a newborn and only nursing by demand. Next tip is to fully feed your baby. So even if they are breastfed or bottle fed or whatever you do, make sure that you fully feed them during the day. So every time they will go down for a nap, they will have their bellies full. That way will make putting them to sleep more easy, or even for them to self-soothe. Also, just before bedtime, I would also recommend to really make sure that they are fully fed when they go to sleep. That way they hopefully will not wake up during the night. Next point on my tips and tricks is something that I will be implementing that I haven't done yet, but I want to mention it because it's something that I want to start doing, which is starting to put them down and let them self-soothe before falling asleep. And the idea behind this is to put them down when they are drowsy and not when they are actually already asleep. That way they will learn how to self-soothe and that kind of thing. I will be doing a video for you guys later on where I share my not my sleep training, but like our sleep routine and that kind of thing. I need to establish it first before I share it with you guys, but know that that video is coming, so subscribe if you haven't already. But I have so many other ideas that I want to share with you guys, and I have a lot of tips and tricks on how to make life easier with a newborn, so I'm sure you can find other videos on my channel that you will enjoy. One more thing, that when you are putting them down for a nap or at night, I would recommend at night to keep the room super dark, or at least for them to know, like dark enough for them to know that it actually is night time. And for me, and just like that, he woke up realizing that I wasn't there and he started to cry, so now we are nursing. But I wanted to pop on again and say that I hope that my tips on knowing if you are actually going through the 4-month sleep regression helped you guys. And if it did, give the video a thumbs up and leave down in the comments if you have any tips and tricks on how to manage the 4-month sleep regression in a better way. I feel like we can always learn so much from each other. It's so fussy now. But yes, regarding the sleep routine and like nap schedules and all of that jazz, I will be doing an updated video later on, so don't forget to subscribe before you leave YouTube today. And if you have a friend who might find some comfort from this video, share it with her or him as well. And come on over to Instagram. I love interacting with you guys over there, and we're just building the most wonderful little community here, so come on and follow me over there. And if you share my video, I will be sharing your post, so don't forget to do that, and it really helps me out so I can create more free content for you guys. After all, it is free for you to subscribe, so go ahead and do so. And I will see you guys very soon. Take care, and let's survive this period together, because it will finish, I promise.